Have you ever noticed how some things just pop up in the most unexpected places? Well, today we're going to dive into a massive architectural mystery, one that spans thousands of years and thousands of miles. Based on the incredible research of Umut Kangun, we're going to look at these identical, really peculiar features carved into stone by ancient civilizations that supposedly never even met. And the answer, well, it might just change how you see the entire ancient world.
So our mystery, it doesn't start with some giant pyramid or massive temple. Nope, it begins with a small, almost insignificant detail. We're gonna zoom way in on one single, curious carving in one specific spot. It's a clue that's gonna blow this whole thing wide open.
Okay, so take a look at this. We're in Peru at a site called Rumaculca, looking at these perfectly cut Incan walls. And you see them right there, these little stone bumps sticking out. People call them nubs or knobs. I mean, what are they for? Were they handles for moving these massive blocks? Some kind of decoration? Or maybe just, a signature of Incan craftsmanship?
Now you might be thinking, okay, it's just a quirky little feature of Incan building, right? A local tradition that got lost to time. And you wouldn't be alone in thinking that. But get ready, because this is where things get, well, honestly, a little weird. This is the moment our simple question explodes into a global puzzle.
I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? The Incas were absolute masters with stone, so these nubs could easily be their own unique flourish, a technique they perfected in the Andes. But just hold that thought.
And boom, here we are, over 6,000 miles away and almost 2,000 years earlier. This is the Acropolis in Athens. And just look, it's the exact same feature. Identical bumps carved right out of the stone blocks. So how? How does a signature feature from ancient Greece end up on a wall in the pre-Columbian Inca Empire? It just doesn't seem possible.
And believe it or not, the rabbit hole goes even deeper. This is the Menhir of Carloas in France, a giant standing stone put up around 2000 BCE. And there they are again. Let's just pause and think about that. 3 totally disconnected cultures on 3 different continents, separated by more than 3,500 years. And they're all using the exact same, very specific architectural detail.
So, you see, this isn't just about some weird stone bumps anymore. As researcher Umut Kangun has shown, this is part of a whole system of shared techniques. It's like a universal language of architecture, suggesting that maybe, just maybe, these builders were all working from the same instruction manual. Okay, so let's put a name to this. The term is worldwide hallmark, and what it means is a specific feature, like these nubs, that just keeps showing up in different cultures in different time periods. It basically suggests that builders all over the world had a similar skill set, and maybe, just maybe, a shared playbook for how to get things done.
And get this, it's not just the nubs. The pattern is so much bigger. Let's look at another hallmark. Ashlars with drafted margins. It's this very particular style. You can see it right there, that smooth, perfect border, and then the rough, kind of rustic-looking center. It's a very specific look,
And just look at the timeline for this one technique. It is mind-boggling. It shows up in ancient Iraq, in Persia, in Greece, in a Crusader castle in Syria, all the way over to Incan Peru, and even feudal Japan. We're talking about a single technique that spanned over 2,000 years and crisscrossed Asia, Europe, and South America. Just wow. And the list just keeps going. We also find these incredibly precise filler blocks. They're used to perfectly patch the corners of bigger stones. You find this same clever trick in the mountains of Peru, at ancient sites in Turkey, and even, get this, on Easter Island, one of the most remote places on Earth. It really is like these ancient builders all had the same toolkit. Okay, so when you see all this laid out, there's one massive question that just screams out. How? How is any of this possible? How could all these different cultures, separated by huge oceans and thousands of years, all end up using the same highly specific building techniques? So let's dig into the theories. All right, when it comes to stuff like this, you usually have 2 main schools of thought. On one side, you've got diffusionism. The idea is simple. A great idea gets invented once, and then it just spreads. It travels with people, through trade, migration, you name it. Then, on the other side, you've got evolutionism, or what you could call independent invention. This idea says, hey, humans are smart. Faced with the same problem, like how do we lift this giant rock, different groups of people will naturally come up with the same clever solution, all by themselves. But, the real answer probably isn't that simple. It's not really an either-or situation. As the anthropologist Leslie A. White put it,
Both of these things, ideas traveling and minds thinking alike, are just fundamental to how human culture works. So where does all this leave us? Well, the thing is, this research doesn't really give us one simple, easy answer. Instead, what it really does is give us a whole new lens for looking at the ancient world, and a new appreciation for its incredible and maybe interconnected achievements.
The point is, finding these hallmarks all over the planet isn't the end of the mystery. It's really just the beginning. It makes you question everything you thought you knew about ancient history, about isolation, about innovation. It forces us to ask bigger, better questions.
And that's the whole point of Umut Khan Gun's research. It leaves us with these huge, fascinating questions. I mean, are we just looking at leftover marks from the building process, or is there something deeper going on here? Could this be a clue to some forgotten, shared system of knowledge? And what does it all say about how connected our ancestors really were?
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. These worldwide hallmarks, they're etched in stone from Peru all the way to Japan. And they challenge us to wonder, maybe those neat lines we draw on maps, separating one ancient civilization from another, maybe they're not so neat after all. What if the ancient world was way, way more connected than we ever dare to imagine?